Hello, this week's skill of the week comes from the DBT module of mindfulness. The purpose of mindfulness is to bring us into the present moment. So often when we are stressed out or suffering, it's because our mind is taking us to the future about something we're worrying about, or to the past about something we're sad about. So the goal here is to bring us into the present moment. The skill to help us bring us into the present moment today is called describe. And the idea is to describe what is happening in the present moment. But make sure that you are truly just describing. You're not editorializing, you're not adding judgment to it. Just describe what is happening. This is a skill I use frequently when I wake up in the middle of the night. So I'm assuming that most of you as humans watching this have also experienced waking up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you probably feel like I do, which is, oh no, if I don't fall back asleep, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. So this is when I use the tool describe, so I'm not needlessly suffering. So I describe, I'm feeling anxious right now. I feel my heart beating really strongly right now. I can feel my head on the pillow right now. I'm having thoughts about what might happen right now. I'm having future thinking thoughts. So I try to not engage with the flood of anxiety that rushes over me at 2 or 3 in the morning, and instead just describe it, non-judgmentally describe what is happening to me. I am here today with Maris and JD, and I would love to talk with Maris and JD about how they have used describe to help them get through an eating disorder or help their loved one through an eating disorder. Let's start with Maris. Maris, how have you used describe to bring yourself into the present moment, particularly when you were working on your recovery?
I was really lucky that where I was living when we were starting my treatment was surrounded by nature. So my dad had this big backyard that had so many different plants. He's like really proud of how many different trees there are. And so right before or after meals, when my mind was really racing, it was helpful for me to either sit in the backyard or just sit near a window and try to describe everything I was seeing. So, okay, how many different trees, and what different colors are they? What different textures are their leaves? Things like that really helped me just focus my mind in one spot.
I love that. And one of the things I like about it is you're also using a different part of your brain, right? So when we're worried, we're using one part of our brain, but you're pulling it to another place. Like, okay, brain, nope, I want you to use your sight and use your ability to classify and describe. That's fantastic. JD, tell us about a time when you used describe to help your child through their recovery.
Yeah, I can actually think about a couple of times when that's really helpful. Early on, initially, I would say that, sort of you're at the table and you might think, oh my gosh, she's not picking up her fork. That means she's not going to finish the meal. That means that she's never going to recover. Oh my gosh, this is the rest of our life because she didn't pick up the fork. So if you can just sort of observe that for that moment in time, she's not picking up the fork and not sort of future trip with it, that's helpful.
So sometimes when our child does something and we're like, oh no, this means that they're not going to eat the next meal and they're not going to recover and we're going to be sick forever, recognizing I am having the thought that makes me anxious. I'm having thoughts about being worried about my child. And thoughts, thank goodness, are not facts.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad thoughts are not facts. Well, thank you so much, JD and Maris, for talking with us about how we can stay in the moment by describing what is happening in the moment and describing it non-judgmentally, just factually. These are things that are going to take a lot of effort because our brains want to pull us into the future or pull us into the past, and you're going to find a lot more peace if you can be right in the present moment. Have a really great week, everyone.